Hey, fan editor, back at it. Today, I want to talk about your guy Giannis Antetokounmpo, aka the Big Aristotle, aka the new Diesel, aka Superman. Shaq dubbed this guy Superman, gave him his title, and I want to talk about exactly what position does Giannis play, and also some of the things he needs to add to his toolbox, to his skill set, in order to be a truly unstoppable player. He did come out recently and said he was unguardable. I don't believe that. I think he is guardable. But we'll talk about what he needs in his game to be unguardable. So, first, I think the discussion will be helped by just really, today's NBA is positionless basketball. People play 1 through 5 positions essentially. But I think it will help by honing in on the position that Giannis truly plays, and this is my opinion. It doesn't mean it's factual. I don't believe he's a small forward. Of course, I don't think his perimeter game is up to par to be considered a small forward. Nowadays, small forwards are usually 3 and D guys. They shoot the three, they play D. I don't believe he's a power forward. And the reason why I don't believe he's a power forward is because, again, in today's game, the power forward is more of a stretch forward. I would consider like Chris Bosh. He was a power forward that played center sometimes. He really had, 15 to 17 footer. He really got proficient at shooting at three. He was really good at shooting at three. You know, Not necessarily a great defensive player, but he did anchor some pretty solid defenses. But most importantly, I think today's game, the stretch four has to shoot the three. Really has to be proficient at shooting the three ball. And on this team, that role is actually filled by Brooke Lopez. I think that's one of the main identifiers that Brooke Lopez is playing the stretch for. Brooke Lopez is the one that's been praised for his 3 point shooting this season. This year, this guy has been lighting it up from three. He was traditionally the centerpiece, but on this team, he gets to play more of a stretch four. He's away from the basket, launching threes, while Giannis is down there getting putbacks, getting rebounds, and things of that nature. So I think that's another telltale sign that Giannis is more likely a center. And I think this matchup is a great indication of that because he had 4 blocks on Joel Embiid, and Joel Embiid is a hard man to guard. He really is because he has some of those Hakeem-like moves. I think Joel Embiid really has a great feel for the game of basketball. Even though he may not have been playing it all his life, he really has that same instinctual feel that Hakeem had. So, and in this case, I think one of the reasons why Giannis has so many blocks is because they play the same position. They play the same position. He may be an easier guard than trying to, defend a small forward on the wing. Because Giannis doesn't have the lateral movement that a small forward may have. He would have enough lateral movement to be considered a power forward, but I still don't think he is a power forward just because of his inability to stretch the floor. And also his physicality. He's very physical, more so like a traditional center would have been. He just has ball handling ability and he's a great facilitator. I think he is revolutionizing the power forward position or the center position. Sorry. And I think that's why Shaq actually gave him his moniker. I don't think Shaq would give his moniker or his nickname of Superman to some stretch four. He ain't giving it to no small forward. He damn sure ain't giving it to no point guard, no little guy. So I think that's one of the reasons why he gave him that nickname because he recognizes this guy as a center. He just doesn't want to say anything because I feel as if he knows he's going to get pushback from his contemporaries because their games aren't similar. Shaq in his Orlando days could run the floor, handle the ball a little bit. Shaq is a pretty good ball handler for a center. I know he's not phenomenal, but he could run the floor, get a rebound, go coast to coast, and he did that in his early days in Orlando. But Giannis, just like every other position, just kind of took it to a new level. He has the benefit of watching everybody else that came before him. He gets to see because he knows his strength is getting downhill. So if you're going downhill and you can add a euro step to that to kind of throw your defender off balance, and with his length, he can finish over anyone. So he just has the benefit of seeing tape to see what moves worked. Shaq didn't necessarily have such a luxury, right? He just knew from the stuff he watched and what his dad taught him. Don't be a punk. Go down there and bang. You 7-1, 7-2, bro. Go down there and ball. So I think he just doesn't want to say anything because he know he'll get the pushback. Does Giannis need a 3-point shot? The answer is yes. However, he doesn't have to be a great 3-point shooter. He really doesn't. He doesn't have to be like Brook Lopez. He doesn't have to be like Kawhi. I think he can develop a shot. Kawhi didn't have a great 3-point shot, but he developed something. Kawhi is a phenomenal 3-point shooter. It's just not flashy, right? His game isn't flashy, so we don't notice it. But if Giannis can just get something that's proficient, that people just won't be disrespecting him, just leaving him at the 3-point line, I think that'll suffice. Primarily, I think he needs 17 to 15 feet. So something between the free throw line, a little bit after the free throw line, and in. And then also, if he gets some counters, kind of how Hakeem Olajuwon has counters, I think he will be unguardable because if his fast break opportunity doesn't pan out, then he can go dictate a game by slowing it down, going to the post, getting a few easy buckets so his body doesn't break down as his career continues. So he really needs to go train with somebody like Hakeem. He'll never be Hakeem. He'll never be Hakeem. That's okay. He'll never have the feel that Hakeem has just being in the paint. But he's physical. If he gets a little bit more finesse in his game in the post, I think he will be unguardable. And you guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. Is Giannis a small forward? Is he a stretch forward? He's not a stretch forward. You see him hit that three, he's not a stretch forward. I really think he's changing the way the center position is played. I mean, the guy, he's not a great perimeter defender because of his lateral quickness, but he recovers and helps off the ball to protect the paint. Just how you would think a prototypical center would. I really consider this guy a center, and I think if we looked at him as one, that would change our mind's eye on what he needs to actually add to his tool set and would take him to that next level. I mean, he's already the MVP, but he could even go a little further than that. So you guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. Add a like, point center, aka the big Aristotle, aka the new Diesel, aka Superman, changing the center position. Stay blessed.